Hey y'all, be with you in 1 minute. Alright. Hope you all are doing well tonight. Welcome back. Previously in this game, we found ourselves an ancient city, and it is out here, ready to be explored. We have made ourselves as weak of a target as possible, and we are now just kind of looking into running around and looting this place. I don't think I'm going to be as cautious as I was in the past. We definitely want to have our night vision potions up and going. But I don't think we need to worry about, like, being... what's the right way of saying this? Super, super cautious. Like, last time we lost everything in an ancient city, we were able to just run back and get it. And I have a feeling that we'll be able to loot this city faster and more efficiently if we just kind of run through it and stay quick and nimble. And that requires our Swift Sneak 3 armor, which if we're going to be in for a little bit, we might as well put it all on. So, wearing our things, we also want our axe. We won't use the wings. I just don't think we need the wings. But all this should be great. Now, we also need to make some potions. So, let's set this up. And we're going to set this up to be a little bit more, we'll make at least 6. This is not a situation where we're going to, it's not a situation where we're going to make, like, a few potions and then take down the brewing stand. This brewing stand's going to be here until we are done looting the entire ancient city. Oh, hey, Hanukkah. Hope you're doing well tonight. So, let's get our stuff put together and start looting this place. I'm doing pretty good tonight. We had a really chill night all hanging out. We watched professional wrestling, which we're goofs, we're nerds. No shame. Got my weekly grocery shopping done. Decided to treat myself. Had some fast food takeout tonight. Just a really chill day. Not too much to complain about. And now we get to play Minecraft again tonight, so always a win. We watch TNA, Impact Wrestling. It's a little bit more minor indie. They do, they run Thursday night on AMC, but we tend to watch it on their actual, like, network. So, gotcha. Yeah. We occasionally watch WWE, but mostly we watch like the big events for that. We don't get into the nitty gritty for that. Used to, but it's just it's changed. All right, so our respawn point is set. We're kind of set up for everything we need. I think we can get out there and do stuff. Just always want to make sure we have the potions on. Oh my god, Rhea Ripley is my roommate's favorite wrestler. Like she's really into wrestling. She's really into women's wrestling. Um and she loves Rhea Ripley. She actually tries to dress like her sometimes. It's like her general motif is very similar. Oh yeah, there is a warden. That's right, because we never yeah, we did make that mistake, didn't we? He shouldn't be able to smell us up here. Look at him down there. Poor little fella. Yeah, Rhea's the best. I used to watch NXT, and we were watching NXT when the Mae Young Classic happened, and she she kind of first came and did her debut. And it was back when, it was before she was this version of Rhea Ripley. It was when she had like blonde hair and she looked a little bit like Charlotte Flair, and like before she did even like the first version of her punk rock. And that was our initial exposure to her, and we thought she was great then, but everything she's done since then has just elevated even higher. She's just awesome. So that's gone. And this is just, I don't think this is more city. I think this is leaving the place. Oh, it's a ward armor trim. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, I'm not sure how much WWE you watch, but for me, I'm actually one of my favorite wrestlers, like full stop, not even like men or women, just full stop, is Shayna Baszler. I've just always thought Shayna Baszler is like the coolest wrestler when it comes like the whole crossing. She does like the badass MMA, I'm gonna be tough and kick your ass thing, but she does it in the right ways that like make her still seem cool and fun. And I just always thought she was the best as far as pulling off that style of wrestling. I thought it was a real shame that they brought her to the main roster off NXT and then built her up to be this super big tough thing and then ended up doing nothing with it because she's just so talented. And when you're like, she has like her Instagram and her profiles and everything, like as far as what she does online. And you can just tell by like the way that she acts on her socials that she's the real deal. Like she just loves wrestling and fighting and MMA and everything in that category, which I think that's just so cool. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a I like Dom Mysterio. I like Liv Morgan. I like Rhea Ripley. I like Judgment Day. I like Damian Priest and everything they did with that. Actually, I remember Damian Priest back when he was on the Indies. He wrestled as his name on the Indies was Punishment Martinez, and he was just this silly looking guy. He looked exactly like Damian Priest, but like grimier and goofier. I forget who they brought him in to wrestle. I think it might have been like Adam Cole. They brought him in to wrestle somebody new when they were new, just to kind of be like a demonstration match to show how good they both were. And that was my first exposure to him. But yeah, he was Punishment Martinez back before he was Damian Priest. Yeah, this is actually way faster than doing it the other way because I was constantly triggering wardens and running away from spots the other way. And with this on, I can just kind of jump my way anywhere I want to go. Well, I don't really want to set you off, but the rest of it's fine. making jeans into a bag. That's pretty cool. I know there are 2 treasure chests over that way. They might be the last 2 left in here. I think we're gonna loot those, take a weird path back through the left side middle, and if we don't see any more treasure chests, we're gonna consider this place looted and maybe move on to the next one. Because we got a lot of these to find. Apparently people who don't chunk base this kind of thing report needing like 15, 20 different ancient cities just to get the silent armor trim, so we should be ready to settle into a very, very long odyssey in order to finish off this quest, unless we get super lucky. Yeah, the fortunate part of it is that we're getting better at ancient cities. Like we were able to loot this entire ancient city in what, 5 night vision potions? That's not too many. That's not too bad at all. What's this? Get out of here. Oh, this is the, yeah, that's what, I remember you now. Yeah, get out of here with that. No one got time for this. Okay, let's try to get out of here. Alright, we are out. Hey, Lexi. We have discovered and looted the ancient city here. I don't know. I guess west was where we were going, so we just keep going west. I mean, that was... Where were we before? We were coming from the west, so... It would be east is the giant thing in the sky, right? Or east would be our mountain. There's a giant pale garden. I feel like we were over in that direction. Is that where we were going? Or is that just where we were before? You did not miss much. So last night we found ourselves in Ancient City. And not last night, 2 nights ago. We weren't here last night. I took last night off. And then 2 nights ago we found an Ancient City, and we just kind of looted it and ran through and ransacked the place. So now we're just kind of going off and looking for other places that look like they might have ancient cities underneath them, although this whole section has been... We've kind of just been here, so I don't know if any of this would be a reasonable place to look. Like, we've been at this 12,000 point for a while. That being said, I don't know. I feel like if I go down there and I start taking winding paths, there's a chance you find another ancient city for how much mountain you have here. And there's also a chance you just kind of run into the same ancient city as before. Yeah, let's shoot off and see if we can find ourselves another ancient city at another location. Because I'm pretty sure that's the one we were just at. And let's go west. That was the direction we were going before. Stands to reason we can keep going that way. I'm feeling pretty good. Had a nice dinner tonight. Had a pretty good, watched some good shows with my family and friends. Just kind of hung out with people. Got a nice reset last night, hanging out with a different buddy. It's been a pretty good day. Can't complain too much. Right now it is about 11:15 at night. And we have been going for approximately 1 hour on this stream. So I'd imagine we got about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll likely find another ancient city, if we can. And then we'll If we have time, we'll loot it, and if not, then we'll just kind of let it pass by for tonight and come back to it tomorrow. This is an interesting place. It's just like glaciers and ocean. You have a Daiko at your school today. What's a Daiko? This looks like a pretty big, promising place. Let's take a look here to see if we can find a city. It's raining in that chunk and it's snowing in these chunks. Take care, Lexi. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I don't really like where we are right now. We gotta fix this. Yeah, I feel like we need to go back home just because we don't have enough space for everything. But then that might also just be that we need to stop collecting every single item and maybe just throw some of this away. I don't know. I think I'm going to do one more ancient city and see then what I can do as far as inventory space. I think that if I'm willing to throw a bunch of stuff into a pool of lava, it will actually get a lot better. But I have to be willing to do that, which, it's always that hard decision of, well, what if I want this later? Regarding enchanting books of Sneak 1 that I'm literally never going to use. There's a crack off there in the distance that looks like it might have a reasonable path down, so I'm going to go give that a look. And we're going to assess on the other side of that. That's interesting. I'm curious if the warden actually spawns in ancient cities on peaceful or not, because he's more of a trigger than a mob. Or I guess it's more of a trigger than a mob. It did not? That's interesting. Do the thingy still shriek? Yeah, I think that's the only use for amethyst, is spyglasses. Um, you might also be able to use it for like tinted glass, and you can use it for things like, what's down here? You can also use it for things like, armor trims and putting on, oh, I don't want to be down here. Look at, that's garbage. We're not here to do a mine. We're here to look for ancient cities. That's bad. Let's get out of here. I don't even care about that diamond patch. Lodestones are weird blocks. They do strange things, like you can use them to calibrate your compasses so that your compasses always have a direction they point that's not just north. You can also have them... I forget what... There's other weird uses for them, like you can use them with like ender pearls and weird like builds with the copper golems to make stasis chambers or something, or there's weird things you can do with them. They're a strange block. I don't actually know all the uses for them right now. I just don't know if I want to go further in. I don't know if this counts as low erosion. Like 115Y as a basic place is fine, but I don't know if that's high enough to be considered deep dark. I don't know if this is big enough to make an ancient city. I'm guessing no. Put more of that away. At least we'll have enough gunpowder when we get back to make more fireworks. Yeah, whatever. We'll keep going. Gotta be something to find here somewhere. This is the one we checked out, right? No, this is a different one, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is a different one. 1 second. Oh yeah, this is the place we've been because there's the mines again. Let's just take a quick peek to make sure it's not mines with a deep dark, but that would be surprising. Typically they don't do mines and deep darks. Yeah, that looks pretty definitive. We don't need to be here doing whatever this place wants. You love mineshafts? I hate mineshafts. They might be my least favorite thing in this game as far as structures to explore. They're so samey, and I always try to go into them too early and get myself killed, and then get crabby about it, and blame things other than myself. Because if there's a problem, it's clearly not going to be me. What did mineshafts do to me? Go back to episode like 5 or 6. It's called The Underground Destroyed Us, or The Underground Demolished Us. And you'll see what mineshafts did to me. It was dirty. It was dirty. Normal. Jeepers. How do you even handle that? all the loose diamonds in here, a pretty clear giveaway that this is a diamond mine. And while I don't like mines, diamond mines are a bit of an exception. Bro, real talk, if I was X-raying, we would be at an ancient city right now. Like, we would not be here. You know, I have considered that. Just going to chunk base and putting the seed in and like just being like, okay, where's the ancient cities at? You've gone so far without using it that like there's just this weird pit of the stomach feeling of like, no, don't do that now. You know, we've gone so much of this without it. It would be a shame to kind of waste that fidelity now by being like, oh, well, this part's hard. Like, nah, we'll power through it. And let me be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, it's a playstyle choice for everybody to do. Me personally, something about chunk base feels a little bit too, communicative. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. If feeling that power and doing it that way makes you feel, if that's how you're happy playing the game, then you know that's how you should be playing the game, and that's awesome. We were talking about that the other day about how one of the fun things about Minecraft is that there really isn't a wrong way to play it. You know, you can do pretty much anything you want, and it's fine because it's as long as you're mining stuff to craft with and crafting stuff to mine with, you're kind of doing things the way that it's intended. All right, there's a deep dark over there. That's some traction. Let's put the real stuff on and fight our way to the area without mobs. Also, a little bit more iron. Not too bad. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought there would be more deep dark in this deep dark. Maybe I'm at an edge. I know this is a bit of a long shot, but I'm just kind of seeing if following the path of the deep dark might get us to another bigger open air area. Oh, now seriously, I am X-raying? That makes sense. Alright, nothing clearly in this direction. I am left-handed. I actually grew up at a time when, and in a rural area where left-handedness was seen as a bad thing, and teachers tried to teach me to be right-handed, and I spent multiple years having a really hard time writing because I wasn't allowed to write with my dominant hand. So I can write with both hands, although naturally, and I'm still better with my left hand because by the time I hit like 4th or 5th grade, my parents had just had enough of it and went and told the teachers that, you know, it wasn't 1937 anymore. And that was a pretty good time. Oh, are you giving blood tomorrow? Donate with your left arm, because your left side's closer to your heart and it's easier for the blood to pump. It'll just be an overall easier experience for you. Platelets, okay, yeah. Still, same thing. Oh, you do it regularly. Do you doing it on commission or like as a way to make a little bit extra money, or is it just a thing that you like to do? Just for fun? Oh, that's nice. That's a really nice thing to do for people. You get told where your platelets go. Oh, they went to New Jersey. You know, it'd be pretty awesome to know where my platelets went, but I'd be a little disappointed to find out they went to New Jersey. Alright, it is. There's some places down here, but there's not. I'm not seeing anything that makes me think there's going to be an ancient city down here, so let's get on up. Also, our inventory is just clobbered right now, so it's been about 2 hours. We've been away from home for 2 whole nights now, 3 whole nights if you count the break. I think we're going to make ourselves back. We're going to clear our inventory, make sure everything's repaired. And maybe we'll, tomorrow, we'll start looking east instead of west and go on a different direction for our giant odyssey to, find a silent armor trim. Okay, 20,000 blocks east. That doesn't seem too bad. Honestly, it might be easier to take the nether, but it won't be that rough. Let's hit it. Oh yeah, that's where you need like a Nintendo Switch or like you have your phone to play games on your phone with or something. Oh dude, you are not annoying, trust me. Don't don't worry about that. This stream exists for people to talk about pretty much anything they want to talk about. And to be honest, nobody else is saying shit, so yap away, dude. I ain't going anywhere. Well, I am in a little bit because it's almost bedtime, but you know what I mean. Do you get, what's the snack that they give you? Did they give you orange juice or like cookies or anything? Because usually there's cookies, and usually the cookies are pretty good. Because usually it's some donation person who, like, made things homemade because they want it to be nice. Heck yeah, apple juice and cookies. Oh, I was looking at chat, and I just flew into a tree. Yeah. Yeah, that being said, it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive like that. It can absolutely be, oh, I'm doing this because I want to help people, and, oh, I'm doing this because, I get a little bit of money for it. Like, they can both be factors in the equation, and you're not a bad person for, finding a way to make ends meet in this world. $10 a visit, that's almost like a burger at McDonald's. That's pretty sick. Yeah, for work, for my work, I work in the tech industry doing stuff with, quality assurance and data annotation and whatnot. And I actually went to college for music. I was a saxophone major, and I really enjoy doing stuff in the tech world, and I really enjoy playing my saxophone. But push comes to shove. Which one of those two things do you think pays a bigger salary? And I can still do both of them. So whatever one you choose to take as a vocation, basing it on the money is not always the bad thing, as long as you're still doing stuff with your life that makes you happy. It goes towards trinkets, yeah. Do you just collect stuffed animals and plushies for the sake of it, or do you have a general theme that you go for? I have some friends who definitely collect them, but they're very themed, like, oh, I have all the Has-Been Hotel plushies, or, I have all of these Kingdom Hearts Heartless. Actually, I have a bunch of Kingdom Hearts Heartless plushies, and I think they're so cute. No, a bison? That's cute. And a moose. Excellent. Oh, yo. Is this a second mushroom? It is. Mushroom Island number. Oh my god, it's so much bigger. This is so big compared to the one that we have. Oh, and it has a ravine. That's neat. This is like seriously a football field of no monsters, no nothing. Oh, it doesn't go down though. It's just a little divot. Wait. Yo, that's kind of cool. I like this. Q-tips? That's kind of fun. How did it turn out? I can imagine that would be challenging, but that also might work out like and make a pretty reasonably unique final picture. Are they any good at singing? What are they singing? What's the song? Oh, if you can't tell what song, then it's definitely not good. Oh, hey, James, you're here. Welcome. Oh yeah, feeling a lot more refreshed. It was a good night to take off. My favorite animal, I don't know if you're asking me or chat, really everybody can contribute here, but my favorite animal is the squirrel. I think squirrels are super cute. One of my two bunny rabbits is a chinchilla rabbit, and she looks like a little squirrel with long ears, and she's so cute. So it was mentioned once or twice on the stream that, oh, hold on, let me turn my fan off. I can see the bar moving with it. There we go. We have made ourselves, you know, it was mentioned once or twice by people. I think James was mentioning it that making it to 666 might be a fun place on the map. And now that we're here, I remember that village and I remember that mountain. And so we've made it. There's not really anything super remarkable here. Now we can say that we have at least checked it out to make sure that there's nothing super spooky living here. Gorillas, you say? Gorillas are great. Oh, flamingo. Flamingos are great. It might be a false fact. It might be one of those things that people tell people because they think it's interesting, but it's not actually true. But, I think flamingos might be the bird that stands on one leg because, they're really social creatures. And when people used to put decoy flamingos out in the ponds to kind of search for them and like scout them out and just learn about them, they had like singular posts coming off the bottom of them. And because the flamingos saw the other flamingo decoy with just one rod, they thought it was standing on one foot, doing some sort of ritual or social thing. And so they would stand on one foot next to it just to kind of play along with their buddy. And so that's why flamingos all stand on one leg. Because they're all just super socially awkward. Honestly, I can relate. I don't know what I'm doing out here, just kind of swimming in circles. I'm pretty sure home is this way, but my brain's a little fried. We've been off doing stuff. We went 20,000 blocks in a different direction. Lost all my bearings. Oh, there's home. Oh, you're so wonderful. I can't wait to see Charles. We haven't seen Charles in like 3 days. Oh yeah. There are some YouTubers that kind of cover kid stuff like that that get like really high energy that I think are okay, but as you might have gathered from our stream here, we are a little opposed. We're kind of diametrically opposed to that style of high energy, you know, making things super exciting even if they're just kind of normal. Although there can be some fun stuff with that. Oh, big ribs and little bones. What's up, lads? Here. Give you a little bit more hay. You know, I'm not sure if they're eating the hay or not, but it looks like the hay is disappearing over time. Hi, Charles. How are you doing? Hold on. Let's get you something to eat, buddy. I know. It's been days. How about we make you some steak? Yeah, we're gonna make you some steak. There you go, big guy. Hope you're doing good. Wasn't there any reward from the warden encounter? Nah. Defeating the warden is not meant to be fought. The warden is meant to be run away from. And as such, he doesn't give you any real rewards when you defeat him. When you kill the warden, he drops exactly 1 skulk catalyst. This is what he drops when you defeat him. This and only this. Meant to be a disincentive to farm him for any reason. I keep saying him. It's also not to, not to make it a weird gender thing, but the warden, I don't think the warden's a he. I think the warden is an it. But that might just be me being nitpicky about stuff. But yeah, Mojang doesn't want people to be killing the warden, so... What's falling? Oh. Horses. Okay. You guys, you're not getting hurt, are you? You're just making noises? Okay, as long as you guys are okay. Yeah, one of the things I did, geez, it was a long time ago at this point. It had to be months ago, when I was still like just first getting familiar with the game and mechanics again. Was I went into a deep, dark, and creative mode, and I gave myself like a netherite sword and stayed in creative, and just spawned a warden and sat there and beat on it over and over and over with the netherite sword. And it had to take 45, 50 full swing, like full strength swings to take it out. Like that thing has more health than the Wither. Sorry, I got distracted by a thing. The Warden in Diablo was a wimp compared to this one. Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to talk about the Warden. Dear Lord, that was, Jeepers, that was 2012, 2013. That was long, long ago. One of the... No, it had to be like 2011, 2012. Back when Diablo 3 was, pre-beta. I was working at Blizzard at the time, and we had a very long series of tasks to get prepared for the beta, which the beta for Diablo 3 when it was released was just Skeleton King, Leoric, like up to that, and it was the story up to that point in the game. So we did the game from the beginning up until the end of the Skeleton King over and over and over and over and over. And I remember the warden. Oh, that whole Act 1. Doing that whole thing was wild. I had to, before that game released into beta, I probably defeated the Skeleton King 150 times. Just with every character doing every build, playing around, being goofy. That was a really fun game to work on. Had a really good dev team too. A lot of like open-mindedness and willingness to listen to QA. Loved working with that group. Did Blizzard treat me good? Yeah. I worked there from 2011 to 2019, and I mean, it's a company, it's a corporation, and it has corporation problems. But the people that I worked with were really kind, really well, you know, really smart people who really cared about what they did. And I'm still friends with a few of them. But yeah, it was a nice place to be. I can't really say too much on the specific end of like what made it a nice place to be or all that, because NDAs and whatnot. But yeah, overall, ultimately, it was very much worth my time. Yeah, great for the resume. Actually, yeah, it was. The video game industry, just as, you know, now I'm just speaking to generalities now, and not to anything specific or any specific company, but the video game industry in general is a very small world. I did about 15 years in it. Now that I do general tech now, but I spent about 15 years in the gaming industry, and after about 4 or 5 years, you know, you start meeting the same people and knowing people, and you know, somebody from Blizzard will bounce over to Riot, and somebody from Riot will end up at Naughty Dog, and then somebody from one of those places will make their own startup company, and 20 people that they know from a bunch of different companies that are now looking for jobs will end up working for that place. And it's just kind of a big little, I say big, but it's a kind of a small little happy family. And a lot of people just kind of know a lot of people in it because of that. The most recent company that I worked for, they were a really, really good group of people. But, that was, I left Blizzard in 2019, and this place that I worked for was 2024, 2025-ish. And probably a third of the people that I worked with were ex-Blizzard co-workers that I just had worked with and already knew and had rapport with from before. And that's also kind of a benefit and a boon, because everybody, like in a corporate setting, because people are always so uptight and whatnot, knowing the people that you work with and being a little bit more friendly makes it so that you're able to talk more freely and just kind of, you know, if something needs to be talked about in a real, like, practical, okay, let's get this shit done terms, it's a lot easier and a lot more comfortable when you have, you know, been drunk with that person a couple of times to just speak freely, talk about what needs to get done, and everybody's not walking on eggshells, trying not to offend each other. It's about the work. And so, you know, there's a lot of really good benefits to having that kind of a small world industry, but you know, now I'm just kind of rambling about things. I don't think there's a reason to have so many of the same disc. Is there a reason to have 4 copies of Lava Chicken? Should I just throw 3 of these into the lava? Can I cube them and create other records? What? What? Oh shit. I'm out, fam. We got a job to do. Charles, you sit. Charles, you stay sitting. You, come on. Oh, come on. This has to work. This has to be it. Please. All right, put you right there. Put that right there. Come on. Yes, we got it. All right, so that is going to be the end of the stream because we have now succeeded in everything we've ever set out to do. So say goodbye to Charles. We're going to delete the world. Wait, delete. Wait, no. Not delete the world now. Yeah, play them simultaneously. Yeah, there's, what is it? There's 3 of them specifically that when you play them together, they make like a really good spooky track. Oh, did I blow up my boat with that? No, I said it. That's fair. If I said it, then we have to do it. We've only put, what, 100 and some hours into this world at this point. We spent 9 hours farming just to get our netherite gear back because we lost it. We can just throw this all away now. Yeah. No joke. That is... I am super, super thrilled that we have this all taken care of. Like, all joking aside, that's a load off. Because we've been talking about getting that one done for probably 15, 20 episodes now. And now we no longer have to go, oh, when the thunderstorm comes. And to be honest, it was the nitwit that we were able to get struck with lightning, so we didn't lose any of our professionals. You know, worst case scenario, they still have a lot of bread there. They're probably just going to breed another villager, and we'll have somebody who's a more productive member of society, or who knows, maybe they'll make a new nitwit. It might be fun. Yeah, the nitwit has a real purpose. Get struck by lightning. By the way, I don't know if you guys know what this compass is, but if you take the echo shards and you put them around a compass, you get a recovery compass. This points to the last place that you died. So if I ever want to go back to the last place that I got killed, I can just follow this compass and it will get me there. Yes, it works in the Nether, but it only works in the dimension that you last died in, so if I die in the end and then I try and use it in the Nether, it will just spin. Or if I die in the Nether and I try and use it in the overworld, it will just spin. But in general, yes, it should work decently enough. You know what? You know what we can do about the whole CD situation? We can just make our own box for CD specifically. And CDs live in the CD box. There we go. Also, I know I'm saying CDs, and they're not CDs, they're records. I don't even know if the 17-year-olds understand what a CD is. It's called a compact disc. They were an item from when I was young that allowed us to listen to music in a non-digital format. They got scratched, they skipped a bunch, they sucked all the time. It was not fun. James is laughing in 8-track right now. He's like, oh, you sweet summer child. I had cassettes. Oh, you collect vinyls? That's so cool. Do you have a record player that you listen to them on? I feel like we had this conversation because we were talking about Arlo Guthrie. Actually, I don't know why I'm going to leave all that stuff in here because this is actually all good stuff to take with us. We don't need that much cobbled deep slate though. Just 4 stacks will do. Actually 5 stacks. The rest of that's fine, but we need more nether wart. And we should just have a full stack of everything else. Okay, that's pretty cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I like Liam Neeson. I really enjoyed they just remade The Naked Gun. They did a remake of that, and he played the main character in that, and he was very, very funny in it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Oh yeah, Taken was definitely good. I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah, that was multiple good movies. Actually, maybe wasn't multiple good movies. I remember really liking the first one. I don't remember the second one. I think was also good. They might have made a third one. I don't know if I liked the third one. I could just be misremembering that so badly. It's been so long since I've seen those movies. Yeah, the first one was very, very good. The first one was classic. Hmm. Look at all these diamonds we cheated. Feels good. Hey, how you doing, Blaze? What's good, buddy? Hope you're doing well tonight. Oh, I loved the old Naked Gun movies. They they always stuck with me well. I still remember the saxophone playing scene because I was a little saxophone nerd and loved watching that scene. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, they're funny for a lot of the same, like weird out of the box crazy humor that Family Guy was originally funny for. And it's one of those things that if you're in the mood for it, it's really funny. And if you're not in the mood for it, you kind of just stare at it and go like, blink, blink. Actually, the scene that I think about that always makes me chuckle is there's a scene in one of the Naked Guns. I think it's one of the Naked Guns where he has to sing the national anthem and he just doesn't know the words, and so he just makes the words up. It's just really funny. It's so stupid, but it's really funny. Unbreaking 3 and mending, this actually might be... We're going to keep these legs. They're worth it. I was a music major, and I sang in a barbershop quartet, and as such, I know the national anthem. I know I know 3 parts of the 4-part harmony for national anthem. This is not a brag. This is an unfortunate truth of being a music nerd. You used to play piano? That's pretty cool. One of your favorite sax tunes is the Magger Boy. Is that Glastonbury the Star? I don't know what that is, but I'll definitely give that a look because I'm always interested in new saxophone stuff. Little piano is definitely something to be happy about. Piano is one of the more challenging things to learn. I had a much easier time with saxophone. You get to learn everything. Saxophone, the whole woodwind gambit, the strings. I had to learn violin. Had to do a little bit of keyboard and piano and all that. Keyboard and piano is one of the hardest things to learn if you don't have an innate understanding of it to begin with, because there is so much left-right brain thinking and discoordination that occurs between your left and right hand, where one's doing the melody and one's doing the harmony, that if you're used to everything working in concert with a single-threaded instrument, something like a saxophone, it's so hard to disjoint that mental connection and have them start doing different things. I've always been impressed by people who can learn piano. That is not an easy one to learn. Yeah, I hear you. Most of what I'm able to play on a piano right now is really basic video game stuff. Like I can play the Super Mario theme just because that's an interesting one to learn. I can play about half of 2 Xanarkin from Final Fantasy X because that's just a really unemotional song to learn. But yeah, xylophone is easier until you get into the more than 2 mallets at a time kind of thing. I've seen some people get into that where they're just like, their left hand is bopping in harmony, their right hand is doing like two mallets at the same time running in parallel thirds with each other. Just wild, wild skill. But that's just how anything is. You take any skill, any instrument, and there's going to be someone doing it in some ridiculously wild way. Oh, that was your school instrument? That's pretty cool. Did we have computer class? Yeah. We had a couple different types of computer class. We had a basic computer class where they taught us things like file structures and how to search for stuff and how to use the internet. And then we had one that was how the parts of the computer actually worked and everything, which was, we took that at an earlier class, and that was like, hey, this is what a mouse is, and this is what a keyboard is. This is how you look things up in a basic encyclopedia kind of thing. But, along in Desert Highway east of Omaha. Did we use Scratch? No, we never used Scratch. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll run through this chat after stream, and I'm just going to make a little list of like saxophone songs and all this, and I'll let you know what I think about them. Nah, we didn't have Scratch. If I'm being completely honest, most of my computer class was spent playing Oregon Trail, and then just like quickly jumping back to the actual thing if the teacher called on me, but you know, we were generally left alone. Will do. I'll look it up. Alright, so everything is mended. All of our inventory is back to being normal. We have our go bag, we have our emergency box. And we've emptied out the rest of our shulkers so that we know what is in them, which is nothing. So we can take a couple of those back out. And that's going to be what we do next time. I just realized, I remember saying something about, oh, we've been going for a whole hour. And now I'm looking at the stream, and we've been going for 3 hours, and I think it's about time we call this one, once we get back up to our base and say goodnight to Charles. Recorder. Stop being entertaining. You got it. I got you, fam, because we are going to feed Charles and call this a stream, so don't you worry. Hey, little man, how you doing? I missed you so much. You're such a good boy. Your armor's still completely whole, so we can't do the thing yet, but we'll get there, man. Yeah, we'll help you out. Don't you worry. Am I going to create a new world? Oh, no. I was just kidding with that. That was just a joke because of the lightning guy. But we're sticking with this world until we get every advancement. No matter what we got to do to get there. It's going to be a lot of ancient cities in the next couple of streams, but hey, that's That's the price. You know, that's showbiz, baby. Respawn point set. Oh, I forgot that we didn't do that. Good deal. Alright, so Charles is here. We're all happy. Our respawn point is set. We're ready to go on another adventure. Everything is as it should be and right with the world, so... This is where we're going to call it a stream. I just want to say, if you watch up to this point, thank you so much for hanging out. If you're watching in the future, thanks for being here. It's always fun to have you. And until next time, be good to each other, y'all.